Okay, we're going to continue creating arrays in different ways. This time we're going to split a string into an array using the split method. All right, so let's minimize this and go back to here. So the main idea here is we're going to have a string. So my string is going to be assigned, and it'll be a list of things. So I don't know, what things do we want here? Let's do Ford, Chev, Kia, Toyota, Honda. Anyway, list of car manufacturers. Okay, so let's say I have this string. This is a single string, and I'd like to break it up. And let's not have spaces, because that's going to mess up my splitting. I'm going to break it up where I use the comma as a separator. Okay, so really easy. I just go, my array is going to be assigned, and you take the string and go dot split. And, oh, I forget what the default separator is. Separator, a string that identifies character or characters to use in separating the string. If omitted, a single element array containing the entire string is returned. Oh, so that's not what we want. So if we did this right here, and let's go back to here, and let's do a console.log my array, so I don't have to type it. Yeah, so it created an array, but it just took the entire string and put the entire string inside of the array. Okay, but we can specify in here, I want to split using a comma as the separator. So it's going to select all these commas, and that's where it's going to cut the string apart and just save the things in between the commas. And now you can see, there we go, Ford, Chev, Kia, Toyota, Honda. All right, and we could do, if your string had well, let's do hyphens or something like that. You can do whatever you want. Hyphen. It depends what input you have, right? If you want to separate by hyphen, you just put a hyphen in there. And we hit save, and it works the same way. If we did have spaces, you could actually do it that way as well. All right, the string just has spaces. We could separate by spaces, and we would get the same thing. Okay, one thing that's kind of interesting is if you did this, if you pass it the empty string, this is cool. It actually breaks it up into each individual character. F-O-R-D space, C-H-E-V space, etc. Okay, so that's kind of neat. One kind of use of this is if we have an input element, right? So I added an input element into here with the ID of user input. Instead of getting the string and just defining it, we could get the string by going document.getElementById, userinput.value, and then let's split it by commas, let's say. And now, well, of course, I need to add this to an event listener, because otherwise this is empty, right? So it just gave me the empty string. So documents.add event listener, click, and then we'll say split string or split input, and define a function called split input, which will have all of this stuff in it. Okay, and now that should allow me, let me just make this a little bigger, so I can type in whatever, right? We're splitting by commas, so A, comma B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and then when I click, it gets this input, splits it by commas, and then we print it out. Right, so that could come in handy. Like, for example, if we were getting the coordinates of a point, 2, 3, right? And you can get those in 2, 3. So you wouldn't have to ask the user when you're asking for the coordinates of a point, what's the x coordinate, what's the y coordinate? They can just type it on one line. And then you can access by going oh, I can't do it because it's a local variable now. But then we could go my array at position 0 is the x coordinate, right? And my array at position 1 is the y coordinate. Oops. So 5, 6, and then we click, we get 5, 6, 5, and 6. Okay, so that is how you can use the split method, put whatever separator you want here, and it'll separate the string into an array. All right, hope that made sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.